Let's go.
Record that. All right, perfect. So
Perfect.
welcome back to the Keaton and Taylor show with Keaton and Taylor. Of course, today we got Ethan UnRuh from University of Washington. I'll let him introduce himself real quick. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Ethan Unruh. I love Jesus. Play baseball at the University of
Amen.
Washington. From Beaverton, Oregon. But really spent my days in Seattle, homegrown UW product. Except never liked UW. But ended up going there. Man, God's timing, God's plan, and couldn't be happier. In the situation it being going in my sophomore year at UW.
All right.
Nice. That was a
So
good response.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So Keaton, go off. Just go ahead and ask that first question, and then I'll just go
Yeah.
off you.
So first off, thank you very much for taking time to interview with
Agreed.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think this will be fun. So first question. Um, how do you recharge yourself and what do you do for fun?
Woo. That's a
Kind of
that's a
two for
good
one.
question. That's a good question. Like I said, man, I love Jesus. Got saved at really 16 years old. What I do for fun, man, I love Legos, number one.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
I go through stints though. About every 6 months, I'll go through a Lego stint where all I'll do is Legos for like 2 weeks. It's the same thing with like video games. I don't play video games, but every like 6 months, I'll just play nonstop. Uh,
So
but
what
man,
kind of video games do you like to play? Like
uh,
MLB The Show
Yeah, that's a
or
good question.
it's funny. I have an old system. I just have the Xbox One, so I can't
Oh,
play
I
new
have that
games.
too.
Back in the day, it was Star Wars Battlefront 2. Me
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
cousin, we would grind that game. But right now it's been NCAA 14.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
the OG. Uh, but man, what do I do to recharge? Really, I mean, I try to be in church as much as I can because I love it. But really, like when I need a recharge, I just chillax playing video games while listening to the Bible, and
That's
that's
awesome,
what
man.
I do. Won't talk to anybody. I'll just phone is on the Bible, listen to that in the background while I'm playing video games.
That's awesome. That's a great
Yeah,
way of
that
doing it.
yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you said you gave your life to Christ. You said at 16, right?
yeah, yeah,
I did
yeah,
get that right. Yeah. So what made you, give your life to Christ? That's, one big thing with me.
yeah,
I like reaching out to Christian athletes and all that. And, that is a question I wanted to ask you is why did you give your life?
yeah. It's interesting. I grew up in like pastor's home. I'm a pastor's kid through and
Okay.
through. I was raised in church. My dad was youth pastor. My mom was the kids pastor. Uh, at like high end, kind of almost mega church type settings. And then just grew up in the faith. Always loved going to church. I thought it was fun. You get to be with your friends.
Yeah.
But around when I hit my teenage years, I started to struggle with things like pornography. I started to struggle with just like culture in general, wanting to fit in a little bit. Uh,
Right.
I love fashion. I love sneakers. I love all of that. But I got wrapped up in it too much, per se, where it's like everything that I love more than Jesus. To the point where then I got really good at baseball when I was like 15. Uh, and I was like, I wasn't really known in baseball. And in 3 months, I went from not being known to being an Oregon State commit and like the best player in the state. Uh, and
Wow.
like crazy 3 months.
Dang.
Uh, but it was funny because like that all happened, and behind the scenes, I was struggling with pornography, and it was COVID, so I
Yeah.
was just struggling with being alone. Uh,
Mhm.
and really like just I wasn't even following Jesus. I'd read my Bible verse of the day and
Yeah.
check it off the box, and it was good.
Yeah.
Which the thing is, like, I love people reading the verse of the day. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It was just like when that's not on the altar of your heart, that's when things go south really fast. So while my life was going up, my personal life was deteriorating,
Yeah.
and it was going fast, and it came to the point where like really fell into a really, really bad depression, uh, struggle with anxiety a lot in not an unhealthy, like in a very unhealthy way. Uh, where at like 16, I had a really bad outing in baseball. And there was like events that led up to it, but it was like really bad. And I'm just like, man, I'm done. I'm worse than I've ever been. I'm more depressed than I've ever been. And I was like full on like suicidal. Like, man, I'm gonna get so bad where it looks like I could justify to take my life. Like I was in that mode. I told God, I'm done. I wasn't even following him, but I was like, I'm
Yeah.
done. I don't even know if you're real. I don't even know. Like I'm done. And a week later, I went to a church camp with my cousin. He was the homie I played Battlefront 2 with, my best friend. I went to a church camp with him and my brother, best friend as well. And my dad signed me up, so I was like, man, I'll go. I grew up at church camps. Nothing ain't gonna happen. I'm just there to hang out.
Yeah.
We went to this like church camp, middle of nowhere, Dunes Bible Camp, on the coast of Washington, like Washington, Oregon coast. And night one, the power of God showed up like I've never seen it in my life. It was
That's
the
awesome.
stuff, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was the stuff I read about in books that I was like, this never happened. This is fake.
Yeah.
I saw it in front of my own two eyes. Like I saw healing in front of my own two eyes. I saw casting out demons in front of my own two eyes. I saw speaking in tongues in front of my, like, I'm like, this is undeniable proof. If I died right now, I was like in my seat. I was like, if I died right now, I'm going to hell. And Jesus is in front of me. I'm not missing my moment. I don't even know what happened. I started weeping, ran into the front of the altar. God, my life is yours. I didn't pray no salvation prayer. I just wept and said, Jesus, I'm yours, you know?
Amen.
Yeah.
And
That's
was
awesome,
there,
man.
yeah, 30 minutes getting prayed over. And since then, my life's never been the same. Saved, been baptized in the Holy Spirit, believe in all of it and everything. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love how
Yeah.
vocal you are with it too, because most
Yeah.
people aren't
Yeah,
as
me
vocal as
too.
you, and that's
Yeah.
like really, really cool, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever. It's the reason to live, you know?
Yeah,
Amen
Yeah.
this is
about
awesome.
that.
I love that you share this so much. Are
Yeah.
you like this? Like, do you share it with your teammates too?
Yeah. Yeah. In a humble way, the me on a screen
Yeah,
is
in a
the
humble way,
me in
right? You
person.
got.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah, I love talking to people. I love communicating. I'm very extroverted in
That's
settings.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool story. Thank you for telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome to hear, honestly.
Thank you.
So
All right.
I'm curious to know, what is your pregame and postgame meal?
Ooh,
Just total change of subject.
man. Yeah, no, that's good. It's funny because at UW and at the like I don't know, small Power 5, but at the Power 5 level, they bring in pre and post game meals for you. So we
Oh.
get everything
Good to know.
catered. So my favorites from this year that we had these burgers. They were like organic beef burgers, make your own cheese. I got this. It was a burger, double patty, double cheese, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of French fries on the side. That was my favorite.
That sounds good.
That
Yeah.
sounds really good.
sounds like
Yeah.
a good meal.
Exactly. I could go for a good burger all day. But post game, man, the first one that jumps off the bat is it was like, what's like the noodles with the cheese? Is that like Alfredo?
Chicken and Alfredo, or
Yes,
just
that,
Alfredo?
yeah, that
So-
would be Alfredo, I think.
Yeah, it was shrimp Alfredo, and it was
Ooh,
bomb.
that
it
sounds
was-
good.
Yeah, it
That
was
sounds
so good.
super good.
You go into
Yeah,
hunt.
I wish Shorter University had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go into the
Yeah,
locker room after the game, you grab a protein shake and you grab a shrimp Alfredo, and it's a good night.
Dang, that sounds good.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh yeah, it's
they're feeding
amazing.
you good. Okay.
They blessed us
But-
over
Yeah,
I'm jealous
looking. Yeah, that does make you a little jealous when you see our two cafeterias compared to that.
there.
I mean, Barry's a little bit better, but
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
little bit better, but it's not anywhere near what you just described right there.
yeah. They take care of us right.
Yeah, I can tell.
but yeah. So doing a little research, I love looking into people and just into their careers, and
Yeah.
you were posting stuff about you went from 83 miles an hour to 93.
Yeah.
What went into that, and then what helps you go into that workouts and different things like that.
Yeah. It's crazy. Throwing it back on my like salvation story. I was gonna quit baseball too, before I got saved, and then I got saved, and I was like, I'm all in for Jesus. I'm gonna quit baseball too because I'm gonna do what you want me to do. And then a week later, in a really profound sense, like I got prophesied over, and everything is like use baseball for God's glory. So I was like, I'm playing baseball, but I have no clue what to do. At the time, I was like 83 miles an hour, like it says in the video. Everything wrong, hitch in the arm path. So I was like, I need to fix this. So I took a month off throwing. Honestly, spent time in prayer. Lord, what do you want to show me? Where do you want to lead me? Did a bunch of researching from the Lord's direction, and made a plan that was like I long tossed 3 times a week. I didn't do any weighted balls. I got with a trainer that did a bunch of lifts. I did arm care, like specific arm care, everything. So what it was like a typical week would be like Monday, go there right after school. I'd research during school, the driveline blog and everything. Everything that, baseball players like to do, research. So I'd go home from school. I'd go there really quick. I'd lift with my trainer, get an hour and a half, 2-hour lift in. And the thing is, we're pretty middle class. We can't really afford nice trainers. So
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got with a family friend that gave it to us for cheap. So shout out
awesome.
Nate McCarty. But we got with a trainer. So I do that. Then I go to church for what we call pursuit nights for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then it would probably be like 9:30. I'd go right back to the facility. I'd throw and do all my arm care stuff from 9:30 to 11. I'd come home and hop in a shower, go to bed. That would just be Monday. Tuesday.
I'm like, wow, that's a great week.
No, I know. Yeah. That's kind of what I do now. Still, it's work ethic's still the same. It's just different. Like college, you work on different things. But yeah, so Tuesday I'd get there, get the facility after school. I'd long toss, do a bunch of arm care, take care of my body. I would do like an hour and a half of spine work, just moving the spine, like crazy stuff. And then I did that, and then Wednesday was kind of the same. I'd lift with my trainer again, go to youth group. It was a long toss day before, so I might throw, I might not, depending on how I feel. I'd throw after youth, but most of the time I didn't. I took that as an off day. Thursday, I'd get on like a slope. Like not full mound, but probably a net 33 in front of the mound, off half the mound, and rip it as fast as I can. Just with a 5-ounce, and just dial mechanics, take videos, everything, adjust needed, do that. And then Friday, I do the same thing, but just light intent, maybe a little flat ground work, feel. Everything was velo. I did not know how to throw any off speeds or any pitches, so I was just ripping a 4-seam as fast as I could. And then Saturday was my heavy day. Max long toss, max bullpen, wrap soto track and everything. And then Sunday, full off day. And that was the week. Yeah, so I went from 83 to 93. It's crazy. I hit a 93 when I was throwing a bullpen at 12:30 a.m. It was it was what you call a late night after a basketball game. Yeah. In the spring too, I played basketball my junior. I was better at basketball growing up. I didn't play senior year, but I played junior year. So after basketball, you go lift, and then you go throw a bullpen late at night. So that was the work.
Dang, that's awesome. That's a week right there.
I know.
That's a week.
Dang, dude.
I know. I back in the day, I get sick a lot because I get no sleep and I just work myself.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Hey, but you put in the work, and I mean, even with God and everything, you put in the work.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave your life, and I mean, you're doing pretty well. I mean, I saw you threw what, 2 innings this year, roughly.
Yeah. I threw 2. It was a good learning year. I didn't play high school ball, so I never been part of a team before. So man, it was really, really good learning. Yeah.
All right.
So wait, okay, hang on. You said you've never been part of a team before in high
No, not
school?
really. Well, like when I was 13 or 14, like you play little league and everything. When I was 13 or
Yeah,
14,
yeah,
I
yeah.
played on a club team. But in terms of an actual team with a locker room, my freshman year of high school, COVID canceled it. I
Mm,
wasn't even gonna play because they placed me on C team, and I'm like, you crazy.
yeah.
So I actually transferred from that school to another school, but not on baseball stuff, but on my sister's basketball, things that happen in the women's program. And then sophomore year was like the weird COVID year. Can't really
Yeah.
do it. I pitched like 3 times.
Mm,
I did not get along with the coaches. I was not in the greatest headspace
Yep.
that year. And then junior year, I got saved. I go, man, I need to make some adjustments. Didn't play high school baseball that year, and didn't play high school baseball senior year, and really just spots started for teams in the summer. So yeah, that's
To
a
get
little
your
my
name
story.
out there and get yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly. So coming into college, my freshman year, it was a completely different thing. Where oh man, I'm throwing every day, and oh
Yeah.
man, we're lifting, but the lifting's different, and I got to throw at a certain time, and then I'm throwing a bullpen every 2 days, like everything like that. So uh, it was really a learning curve.
okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Because like even with me in sports management, and then
yeah,
Keaton's on a different path, but even researching a baseball, you never get to hear like behind the scenes stuff. Like I
hmm
know a lot of guys in shorter, but they never tell me like all the behind the scenes stuff. So that's why I like doing interviews, because most
yeah,
of y'all come on here and kind of tell us everything.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
actually really cool.
yeah.
All right,
So,
go
okay.
ahead, Keaton.
Um, why did you pick baseball to play?
Oh man, really? Because I just was better at it. uh, I actually I'm a basketball player at heart. I love hooping. I'll play like pickup basketball still. I love hooping. Uh, but around ninth grade, like I said, just all of a sudden blew up in baseball. I realized, oh, I'm getting recruited by every major Power Five school in the Northwest.
Mm.
I think baseball is the route where I should go. So
Yeah.
I ended up going with baseball, and basketball. My time was I didn't work at it like I worked at baseball just because
Yeah.
I started to get really good. And I realized my time was coming to an end. I'm 6'6" and athletic, but playing in the AAU circuit versus like Mookie Cook and Jackson
Yeah.
Selstad at Oregon,
Yeah.
I remember playing against them, and I'm like, oh man, I might not be cut out for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Uh,
looked at y'all schedule. I'm like, why did? Because I saw that you went
yeah,
19 and 31. So I'm researching the thing, and I was like, oh, they had to play Oregon State, Oregon, all
yeah,
those top 5 schools in the country, not just the state.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and then uh, play baseball, got good at it. Was like uh man recruited and everything, and then was gonna quit, and then got saved, was gonna quit still, and then prophesied, didn't quit. So I'm like I'm 110% giving everything I can to this until the Lord takes it away or transitions me,
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, which who knows, I'm happy however long I play. I'm for it. I'm giving 110%. But yeah, that's really how I chose baseball.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily choose. God just chose it.
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, with that along the same lines, what what made you decide to throw sidearm?
It's funny. I've always been a low 3/4 slot guy. Probably like
Okay,
if you look at the plane of rotation, I probably was the kid like right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
okay,
but and I was still kind of like right here. As I got older, it transitioned because I got stronger and my limbs got
Right.
longer. So kind of
Hmm.
just right there probably. And then I was in Arizona for a baseball tournament, and I tried to dunk on one of my buddies, and I ended up rolling my ankle. Uh, and so I had a sprained ankle for like 4 weeks, so I was forced to throw from a knee. And I had to get
Oh.
ready. I had to get ready for a showcase coming up.
Hmm.
So I'm throwing from a knee with a boot on. I'm long tossing with the boot on, getting ready for the showcase. And I got out of the boot and I went and threw in the showcase, and I was like full, like right where I am now, like side on. I'm like, and I didn't, but like I wasn't conscious of it at the time. I was just like, oh, this is how I throw.
Yeah.
Looking back, that's how it happened. But I just started like researching how do I move in that plane? How does my body? How should my body work in that plane? And yeah, that's really the story. It's funny because if you look at like every pitcher, every elite pitcher, their arm is always in line with their shoulder. So whether it be like this or like this, all that changes is your shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
That is interesting. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That's a very cool way that you became a sidearmer.
Yeah, exactly. Very interesting.
Yeah, because some people are like, just like, oh, I'm just gonna throw a sidearm and just change, and this one's like, oh, I had to, figure out a way to throw a different way.
Yeah,
now throw this way.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up watching Randy Johnson, so I always got comps of like I'm kind of that arm slot. And then as I just got older, it got a little bit lower. But it's always been natural for me to throw kind of from the side.
Yeah, because you're already at 3/4. It's not that much to go full sidearm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, going backwards, you said that you committed to Oregon State, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you change to UW or University of Washington over Oregon State?
Man, and that's funny. Because that's a crazy God story in its own. Where I committed there in the first place because I was what like most people call a lukewarm Christian. But like low key at the end, I was not even a Christian. But I committed there because Mitch Cam and Rich Dorman and their coaches, they're phenomenal coaches, Christians, just great people. So, and I mean, they're a top 5 program in the nation in the modern era. So I was like, man, they want me? Sick. I'm gonna commit there. I didn't even visit there, nothing. But when I got saved, I was going through the area code tryout, which is the whole pro circuit.
Right.
And I went down to Corvallis. I was like, man, I just don't really it doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't feel like home. The nearest target's 45 minutes away. Like, can I really do that? Like that.
That sounds like Rome, Georgia.
Yeah, no, that was an actual like, oh my goodness, I'm a city kid through and through, and this is like a little civilization in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, I don't know if this is right for me. So I went back to my grandparents' place back in Portland where we were staying. I'm reading the Bible, just spending time in prayer, and I hear the voice of God tell me to decommit. Like the Holy Spirit prompts me, in prayer. Here, you need to decommit. I was like, am I tripping or are you tripping, Lord? Like this is like, this is a top 5 school in the nation, I'm like, but it was funny because like I heard God tell me to decommit, and immediately I was like, yes, Lord, like perfect. Like as soon as he told me to do it, I was set in stone. Okay, I'm going to decommit. I knew it was the voice of God. Because you train your ear to hear that, Bible says, give me the eyes to see and the ears to hear, so you have that ear to hear, and you're like, oh yes, Lord. And then you realize, man, this is actual like a big decision. Reality catches up with you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. So I didn't tell my parents for like a week. I finally told my parents I was going a little ballistic. Like I had anxiety attacks. Like I was like shut off from the world because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to tell people. I didn't know if I was crazy. God was crazy. I had no clue. It all came to a moment where I'm like, I never really sleep in, and I slept in till like 2:30 in my bed.
Wow.
with the window shut. And just like we were supposed to go to Top Gun with me, my girlfriend, and my whole family at like 4, and I'm still in bed. My parents come in and they're like, "Are you okay? Like this is crazy." I'm like, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I need to decommit, And it was just like, it was like, whoa, that's a shock, you know. And I explained it to them. They're like, I mean, we're Pentecostal, Bible believing people, you know. So they're like, yeah, you need to do it. So I ended up doing it. Like probably 2 weeks later, I just called the coach out of the blue. That was funny. He hung up on me. I was like, hey, Mitch, like, I just need to say something. It was in the parking lot of my church right before youth group, about in two. And I was like, I need to decommit. I just voice of God. I feel like I need to decommit. Thank you for all you've done for me. And he's like, okay, and hung up on the spot, you know. And then I get out of youth group and I check my phone again, and there's like 3 missed calls from Mitch and like a text saying call me. And I'm like, oh man, are they gonna offer me more money? Like I'll like it wasn't about the money. I'm like, even if you offer me a full ride, I still wouldn't go. And like I call my dad and I'm like, should I call him? I'm like, he's like, yeah. So I call Mitch back and he's like, by the way, I really honor what you're doing. I really respect it. He's like, as a man of God, like I love it. You're following what the Lord's telling you to do. You're following your calling. You're following the Lord's steps for you. He's like, it sucks for me. We're Christians, like we want you, of course, but we honor you. And it was like, and I was just like, thank you. And after that call, I play for JK. And I think JK is the best coach in the country at UW. But I've never been more of a fan than Mitch at Oregon State after that call. I was like, this dude, just an A+ human being, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I've got one more question for you. And then I don't know if Taylor has any more. But my last one, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, I think. Who is the pitcher that you like? Who is your role model for pitching wise?
Man, all time, Randy Johnson, for sure.
Yeah.
Modern, I love when he's healthy, I think it could be the best pitcher in the league. Dustin May. Dustin May.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
He is
I haven't heard his name in a long time.
Yeah, he's severely underrated just because he battles injuries a little bit. The funny thing about him too is he's not like sidearm. He's like almost kind of over the top. He's like high 3/4.
Yeah.
But his movement profiles are like what a sidearmer movement profile is.
Yeah.
So I try to model him. I love watching him. Luis Castillo, obviously. Miguel Castro. I love Miguel Castro. I don't know who he's with now, but really solid. Chris Sale, obviously.
Hey, you know, we
I'm
like
Bruce
that
fan.
Chris Sale.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think, is he shoving this year?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
going crazy
this year.
Yeah.
He's the only one besides Lopez that's actually going good in the pen.
Yeah.
Freddie's decent at times.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think who else. That's mainly like Randy, Dustin, Miguel, Luis, and Chris. That's I'll say top 5.
Okay, that's cool.
That's
a good list.
That's a good top. That's
a good
5.
list.
Yeah.
But again, I just want to say thank you for coming on with us.
It really means a lot to us.
scheduling thing. Yeah,
dude,
the whole scheduling thing, we finally got a date to do it, and honestly, went really well. I'm read the Bible verse. I picked one out today. I think it fits, and then we'll pray and call it a day.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the one I picked is, my personal favorite. The one that I live by is, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13.
Yes.
I've kind of lived by that for a long time, and Keaton can tell you we've been best friends for a while, and even through my school and everything. That's why I'm going into my minor is ministry. That's one big thing with me. I don't know about you, but hearing it's pretty much the same. But
I'm a ministry boy through and through. I live and breathe it. Grew up in church, then I hated church, and now I love it more than ever.
That's awesome.
You're a pastor kid. I grew up a missionary kid. So
let's go.
I traveled most of my life, but the last couple of years I've been school bound. But
yeah.
But yeah,
I love
but
it.
yeah, that's the verse that I picked out today. I thought it fit for today. But we'll pray real quick and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, Keaton,
do
I'll
it.
have you start and then I'll finish.
Okay. Thank you, God, for everything that you have given us. Thank you for this interview and for allowing us to just have a good time. And thank you for Ethan and allowing him to make time out of his busy schedule to interview with us.
Yeah, just thank you, God, for giving us another great day. Great weather, for at least here in Georgia. Don't know how it is in Washington, but hopefully it's great weather. But yeah, thank you for giving us time to do this and talk about you, talk about baseball. And yep, I just hope everyone has a great week and amen. But
Amen.
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
yeah. Thank you
Hey,
for hopping on with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ethan.
dude, thank you. Honestly, thank you. I love doing this. I love it too. Made lifelong friends. Got the connection. You
Yeah,
know?
Amen about
exactly
that.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely keep up with like your college career and see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're 6'6", so I'm pretty sure once you
You
start
got a
getting
good
good, they'll
future.
start getting. Yeah.
Yeah. If we don't figure out the arsenal and everything, we did something seriously wrong.
Yeah,
Exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, anytime you want to hop on again, let us know.
Let's-
We'll
let's
be
do
free
it.
to do it. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
let us know. Hey,
Yeah.
also, if you don't mind, this will be posted the
Yeah.
following Monday. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
just kind of share it.
Share with your family and
You know,
stuff.
get it.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah,
friends.
agreed.
Shoot me the recording and everything. I'll chop stuff